we're going out this morning for our morning session with little Nini, who's just seen some sheep that have suddenly appeared, and Amy very effectively, Nini doesn't mind sheep, she doesn't mind sheep at all, but it was a shock because she's never come down here and seen anything in the field, and she just thought, and she has never tried to do that before, but she is a horse, and she just thought, oh, I'm getting out of here. But Amy very effectively blocked her, and incident dispersed with, which is how it should be. So I'm on Jupiter as escort. I'm not an escort. I'm on Jupiter as Nini's support, and we no longer have little Lucky, and he wouldn't be my first choice, or he wouldn't have been my first choice, but I thought, well, actually this is going to be good for him because he needs this company part of his training, in the sense that he gets worried about being behind, as so many horses do, especially those from Ireland, and also he's quite a naturally active horse, and Nini has a completely different stride, and he has to learn to slow up and adjust his stride to Nini, and not to walk. There's the dog. Not to walk right up the tail, Nini's tail. And so this is this is of similar benefit to Jupiter as it is for Nini. So she's coming on really well, and unless there's a reason why I need to come beside, like there's some sort of traffic, we spend the whole ride going behind. Boy. And so I thought it'd be great to talk about, as well as talk about Nini, to talk about this traffic company training, which needs to be begun in a way that doesn't worry the horse. So walking out on the roads is a great way to start. Now, he's been doing this for about 3 weeks, so he's got an awful lot better. So I just want to talk about that. So, whereas before, you know, until recently, if I went to stop and Nini was walking on, he'd get completely agitated. Now he will accept that there is this distance between him and Nini, and his walk is a lot slower and more relaxed. And his half halts have become of the highest quality, simply because we do so many of them. Now, I have got my leg around his sides. My leg is on at all times, and that leg, when the pressure is applied with calves, for him it's a signal. It's a signal to stop. So although I'm using a little bit of rein, I asked him to stop there using my calves, and when he walks on again, not to have that marchy walk that's so much part of who he thinks he is. So we're getting to the stage now where he can really relax behind, and it gives Nini the opportunity to be a brave Nini and to go out in front. So as well as having to slow up his walk, and really work at his half halts. Good boy. It's also in a subtle and gentle way altering his posture, because like all horses, you know, he naturally gravitates to the forehand and drives himself on with his, you know, forelegs and shoulder. I mean, that is what horses do. It's not that he's built on the forehand and, you know, he can be quite light, but he prefers to generate his impulsion primarily from the front legs. But what this company training is enabling him to do is for him to carry himself, for him to alter the weight distribution, so much more of it is carried by the hind quarters than it would be if we were just hacking out on our own. And the reason for that is because in order to slow the walk down to this sort of, for him, not his default pace, he needs to bring his shoulders up and transfer more weight to the hind end in order to slow up the walk. So my hand needs to be, I need impeccable timing. My hand needs to be very soft and very ready to give that release, because as you know, if you watch the first videos of Jupiter, he came behind the bit. He was a very bad case for going behind the bit, and nowadays he very rarely goes behind it. He might just tuck his head in a little bit too much, but he's not behind the bit 95, 98% of the time, so that's real progress. So when we come to do a little trotting, what he used to want to do, as soon as the horse in front trotted, as soon as Nini trotted, he was there. Right, let's trot fast, and let's preferably overtake, if not let's be right up the tail of Nini's tail. So what we've been working on is when Nini trots, he has to wait for a little signal from me, direction from me, rather than just deciding himself that he's going to trot off. So we'll be having a little trot along here. So when you're ready, Amy, we'll have a T-R-O-T. There you can see he wants to trot and do a little half halt, and then he has to trot off in a rhythm, and it is slightly more difficult for him in the trot than the walk, but he's not getting himself into a stew. He is listening to me, and he's having to hold himself. He's really having to hold himself, which is quite difficult, because what he really wants to do is to just plough on and catch up. So this is all very good for him, and obviously for Nini, who's out in front, and oh, he's stopping for dropping. Well, that is good, because normally he wouldn't stop for 1 minute. Now I'm going to see if I can keep him walking. He's getting a bit stewed up, just a little bit, but yeah, good boy. Yeah, very good boy. Now that may seem no big deal when you know you're watching this, but for Jupiter it is a big deal, and I'm very pleased that he felt that he could stop and have a dropping, and that he was able to just continue walking on, albeit wanting to go faster. Now, right, just keep her straight there, that's it. Now, I'm sure she'll be alright with this car. It's getting better. Oh, and he waited for me to tell him before he walked on. That's really good.